Why is soft skills such an important aspect when hiring a UX designer?
So I think there are several reasons for that. One of the key ones is that design is not a mechanical, systematic process. It's as much art as science. So you need to be able to adapt to the particular circumstances of any situation, the needs of the users, the audience, the stakeholders, and you need a degree of empathy to be able to work through that. There's no formula that will get you there. I think the second reason why it's so important is that you can't design alone, particularly in user experience design as a design discipline. I think you always find yourself collaborating with quite a complex group of stakeholders, and it's essential you're able to communicate well and facilitate those interactions to get a good design piece out of it. And perhaps the final thing is, and maybe this is more true of client-side enterprise design than agency work, it can be difficult to see a design through to execution, and that's really, really important, certainly where we work. Everything that we do, we aim to see in the product. We're not just delivering specs and hitting and hoping. And to get people over the line, you need to be able to persuade and maintain those communications and persuasion with all of the teams involved right through to the end. Otherwise, you don't have an impact.
Is there a soft skill which you find most important?
I think there is one soft skill which underpins a lot of the others, which is empathy, and it's a bit of a cliche to talk about that. And I don't necessarily mean just the empathy inherent in user-centered design practice where you work hard to try and understand your users. I mean a kind of instinctive drive, or arguably a learnt drive, to see the world through other people's eyes in a project situation. The users, of course, but also all the other stakeholders, product managers, engineers. It can be very difficult to bring this group of people together in a way that creates a successful piece of design work, or to give your design work room to breathe in that situation. And to be able to do that and to communicate effectively around it and persuade people of your point of view, you must work hard to get empathy with the people you're dealing with.
Do untraditional ways into UX work?
Okay, so this is one of the most interesting questions in this business at the moment, I think. I am not from a traditional design background. I am a trained archaeologist, and my first career for 10 years or so was in archaeology before I started to switch into user experience design. So I have to say yes. If to the extent that I've had any success in my own career, I have to say yes, it's possible to do it and it can work. And there are certainly people in my team over the years who have been from all sorts of different backgrounds. And I think one of the great strengths of user experience design, and maybe more than other design disciplines, is that flexibility and openness to people of different backgrounds and perspectives. However, there's also a really strong case to be made that UX needs to be seen as a professional discipline underpinned by a body of knowledge. And there have been people in the team over the years who quite rightly have been really, really firm on the fact that a really strong grounding, particularly in psychology and HCI, lets you build rationale around your design decisions that people who don't have those underpinnings are going to struggle with. And I think in any team it's good to have that strongly in the mix within the team as a whole, and as part of design crits, etc. I think that is essential. But there are going to be individuals coming from different backgrounds, and actually for me the key thing about this is not so much precisely where they're coming from. It's the fact that we are designers. So we're not product managers, we're not BAs, we're not engineers. We might have lots of those overlapping skills, and we might have come from those backgrounds because we get interested in looking at things from a user-centered perspective or whatever draws you in. But the key thing is that we are designers. We're a design discipline, which means we're working at that intersection of creativity and intent and production of product. We need to know how to work in a generative way, to generate ideas in difficult situations, to work with requirements that cannot possibly be reconciled, to work with insufficient information, and to go through that painful process of design and synthesis where you gather that together, come up with fantastic ideas and present them well. And I think that is the special ingredient